back to the Untitled Chapter podcast. Once again, I'm joined by Danny and Pranchett. How are you doing, boys? You good?
I'm good. Hyped.
I'm pretty good, but some news made me a little sad. But for the most part, I'm all good.
Yeah, well, Pranchett always has something wrong in the world of Calcio, but I'm in good spirits. I know that for the Euros. Obviously, it's this week,
Yeah, the
finally.
Euros got me pumped up,
Yeah, it's a big week. We've been waiting a while for it. And a quick disclaimer, the next couple of weeks will mostly all be Azzurri pods because obviously it's a hot topic right now and a lot of things are going on around the Azzurri for the Euros. So it'll be tough to get other pods speaking about other things on. And also, to be honest, not many transfer news will be popping off during the Euros because players are focusing, or big players at least, are focusing on the matches. So if you want to see transfer news, follow us on our social media at Calcio everywhere, and you'll get it all there. But yeah, once the Euros is done, we got guests on. We'll speak on transfer news, preview the next season, all this stuff. So, but yeah, for you Azzurri fans, get ready. We got a lot of content coming your way. And to start off, this is obviously our Euro preview for the Azzurri. So to start off, I'll start with Danny. I'm gonna ask you a quick question. Which players, so more than one, you can use as many as you want, which players have the most pressure on them for the Azzurri coming into the tournament, in your opinion?
Yeah, so for me, I was saying this on the Calcio guys as well. I had the opportunity to go on their podcast. Such amazing guys, and very passionate for the Italian team this year. And most of them we all have high expectations for them. So go check them out if you guys have a chance. But for me, I was saying too, I think Immobile, he's got the most pressure on him. But I also believe that front three has the most pressure on them, and especially Insigne, Chiesa, and Immobile. Those guys will most likely be our front three. But I think Immobile needs to have a good tournament because I feel like he could be a key factor for us as well. And he doesn't have to score 4 or 5 goals. He just has to play well, make sure he links up with the likes of Insigne and Chiesa and make sure he can create opportunities for them. So I feel like Immobile needs to have a big tournament, but also as well as the cast around him with it, Insigne and Chiesa or Berardi if they decide to play Berardi one game. So those guys need to be key for our attack because you can't win football games if you don't score. So those guys are gonna be key. But I also believe too guys like Barella and our midfield have to be key as well because in this day and age, football games are win in the midfield. And if Italy's midfield can play like they can and they have in the past heading into the tournament, I think we are strong favorites to even go far in this tournament. And it's gonna be a good tournament if all those guys can play like they can, and we just need to continue the form we were in heading into the tournament, and just make sure we go far and we take that big step into this transition phase.
Yeah, well said, Dan. You made a lot of great points there. For Chad, what would you say? Because I feel like you're gonna have a funny one. You always have a funny response. So, which players do you think have the most pressure?
I think it's 4 players that have the most pressure. Immobile, Belotti, Chiesa, and Berardi. The reason I say these 4 are because those 4, in my opinion, are not solidified in the lineup. If Chiesa has a bad game, Berardi will play. Berardi will have a bad game, Chiesa will play. Same thing with Immobile and Belotti. I think those 4 are the only 4 on the team that don't have, they're not solidified under Mancini and they could be thrown out to the bench whatever game, if they're having a poor game. If Chiesa is having a poor half, I wouldn't be surprised to see Berardi coming in the second half. So I feel like those 4 will have the most pressure just to prove themselves to Mancini so they could get more playing time and more minutes.
Yeah, it's another way of looking at it. Yeah, it's a good response. For me, I have 4 guys written down here: Insigne, Immobile, Jorginho, and Verratti. So first off, Insigne. This is now the time for him. Obviously, for the Azzurri in the past, he's had some struggles here and there, but I think now he's 30 years old. He's inside his prime years. He's coming off, possibly the best year he's ever had. Yeah, you can argue.
Yeah, statistically, yeah.
Yeah, scoring-wise especially.
Had in Serie A.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He's been one of the best players in the league. And I think now this is his time where he's no longer the kid coming up who everyone's excited to watch. Now he's the leader, and he has to be the leader, especially for the attack. So I think Insigne has a lot of pressure on him. I think most of his tournament will go the way Insigne goes. If he plays well, we'll play well. If he plays poorly, then he'll play. If he plays poorly, we'll play poorly. So I think he has a lot of pressure on him. Immobile, it's another one. He was top goal scorer in Europe just before last season, the season before. And last season, I think he scored around 20 or close to 20, whatever it was. For Lazio, scored a lot. And for the Azzurri, we still have not seen that. And that's a big worry. We still don't have a striker. I think Immobile has so much pressure on him. I do think he'll be playing over Belotti. I was going to choose Belotti for this, but I don't think he'll play enough to really have pressure on him, to be honest. I don't think anyone really expects much from Belotti right now. I think Immobile is the guy right now where he needs to produce, he needs to score. And I think I have a lot of pressure on him. Another one is Jorginho. This one is debatable, I think. For Italians, I don't think he has that much pressure on him. I think we all know what he's capable of. But I think from people from around the world who don't really appreciate what he can do for a team, I think people like the flash and the speed and all these skills and all that. But Jorginho's very basic. He's a classic Italian midfielder who collects the ball, defends well, plays it up to the attack. He does what he has to do, and he does it very well. So I think he's a great player. But I think for people around the world, they'll be like, this guy, Jorginho, comes to the Prem, hasn't done much statistically, and he just won the Champions League. So they're saying, oh, this guy's like a world-class midfielder. Let's see what he can do. So I think Jorginho may have a lot of pressure on him, but that one's debatable. And I think Verratti, I think this one, arguably, out of everyone I mentioned, has the most pressure on him in the whole tournament. Verratti's either injured or he struggles in a game. There's always something with this guy.
Temper problem.
Temper problem is always something. Verratti, now's your time. You're in your prime. Now is the time. You need to lead this team. You need to be a monster in the midfield. I want to see it because I always hear these things. Oh, Verratti's world class. Verratti's world class. I've never been a big fan of him. You know why? Because I can't watch him. He never plays. The guy's always hurt, or when he plays poorly. So I think Verratti needs to perform for us. And I don't think he's that vital for the team as a whole, to be honest. I think we have people who can replace him quite easily off the bench. But if he's that player people say he is, if he's world class, if he's a game changer, I want to see it because now's the time. I know he's injured. I'm not sure about his status for Friday, but he will play obviously eventually in the competition. It's not like a really bad injury, but yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Verratti does, and I think there's a lot of pressure on him to perform. So let's see how he does. Now, moving on to another topic I really wanted to bring up was which player do we think could have a breakout Euro 2020 campaign? There's a lot of options on this team. Dan, who are you feeling right now?
Yeah, for me, I got maybe two players, and then one we can debate about. For me, I think it's gonna be Barella, and I think Insigne's gonna have a breakout tournament. I think just the way Insigne has been playing as of late, he's just been. You can argue he's been Italy's best player as of late. The way he's been playing, the way he's been linking up with teammates, especially on the left side with either Spinazzola or Emerson. So I feel like he can have a breakout tournament, and he can probably get maybe the most goals or maybe even lead the Azzurri in assists. But I also believe Barella could have a huge tournament for us. This guy's just an engine. He's going to probably prove to a lot of people why he should be talked about maybe as a potential top 10, top 15 midfielder in the world. This guy's just incredible. He does everything. He can track back, win the ball, get the ball, bring it up, score when he has to. So I feel like those are the two guys that can be our breakout players of the tournament. But also, too, if he gets the chance to play, we'll see on Friday. Bastoni, I feel like if this guy can play, he's going to prove to a lot of teams, to a lot of fans around the world, especially around Europe, I should say, but worldwide as well, because it's a huge tournament, why he could be considered to be a potential world-class center back heading in the future. He's already very good. Like, he's probably one of Italy's best center backs in the league, and especially he's probably our best youth center back we have. So those are the three guys I think that can have potential breakout tournaments.
Yeah, those are some good names you said there. I think Bastoni would be a really good one if he gets the playing time. And even I wish Raspadori would play more, but obviously it's very soon for him. I think maybe a spark plug off the bench he could be. for Italy, but anything more than that would probably be a stretch. For Chad, who are you feeling? Once again, I feel something funny from you coming.
I got the boys in green and black, Domenico Berardi and Locatelli. I think those boys, from a world perspective, not a lot of people know who these guys are. And when they come to the Euros and they do their business, they're going to be amazing. They're going to have a breakout and then everyone's going to start talking about them. I just hope those dirty oil money fucks at PSG keep their hands off of them because they already took Donnarumma from us.
Yeah, there you go with which has shot at a team for this podcast.
That's interesting. You said like even Berardi too, because I feel like if because Calcio too, he's another guy.
Yeah, but Chiesa is expected to go. The thing is, the world is knowing Chiesa because of what he did at Juve this season. So everyone's expecting him to go off. So that's why I said he had pressure. With Berardi, like outside of Italy, no one knows who this guy is.
Because I feel like if Berardi does have the chance to start, I feel like he could produce because he's actually with Italy. He's got a good record. He's been playing very good as of late for the Azzurri. He's been scoring, playing well, and Locatelli too. That's another guy too. If he gets the chance to play, he can also shine. But I don't think he'll have a breakout like tournament like the way he is. But I think he'll be a factor for us if he plays. And who knows with Friday with Verratti stats, Locatelli might draw into that lineup.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks into this tournament with playing time and who's going to start and all that. But for me, if I had to pick a breakout player, I'm going to pick Barella. I think, obviously, well, I don't think, I know everyone in the Serie A and all the Serie A fans know who Barella is. We know his class. But something that's always on my nerves is when people speak of the best midfielders in the world, nobody mentions Barella. It's so irritating because we see what he can do, and no one even they don't even acknowledge him at all. And Barella can do it all. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He can score. He can defend. He can play make. He does so much. He works hard. And I think now is Barella's time to really break out to the international stage, let people from all around the world know who he is, and hopefully after this Euro Cup, people are bringing his name up when they talk about the best midfielders in Europe. So I'm really hoping for a great Euro 2020 from Barella. And, I just really hope people can acknowledge who he is because it really is a shame how if you play in the Serie A, you don't really get recognition unless you go off in the Champions League or Europe because you can say the same for a lot of players in the Prem. Like I know Dan, you like Jack Grealish, and he's a great player. I've heard great things about him, but he hasn't done anything in Champions League or in Europe. But people still acknowledge him as one of the best midfielders in the league, and even in Europe at times, as people mention him. But Barella, who just won the Scudetto, and no one talks about him at all. And it's just the popularity and the marketing of the Serie A, which lets him down. Yeah. But I think this Euro is a chance for him to break out and get that respect from globally around the world.
He totally deserves because this guy is incredible. Like I'm not an Inter fan, but I'm a Barella fan. Like this guy's incredible. Like even his final years at Cagliari, you could tell this guy's got potential to be a good midfielder, but now he's turning into a world-class midfielder. So you can even argue he is one. So
yeah, I would say he is honestly right now. Yeah, he's phenomenal. So yeah, I'm hoping for the best for Barella. And now moving on, another big talking point, which I think has been going on for maybe a decade. Like it's been a while now. Who should start at striker for Italy? Now, I think we all have our opinions. I'm gonna share mine quickly here. I have an interesting one. I know it's not gonna happen, so I'll give you two. But what I would like is Insigne as a false nine. I'm a big Belotti fan. I don't like Immobile, but we've seen time and time again they both cannot score for Italy. More so Immobile than Belotti, who has more appearances than Belotti and less goals for Italy. But I would like Insigne as a false nine. I say, why just waste that position? You know, no one's excelling in that position, so why not just put Insigne there as a false nine? False nine's always good because it makes the center backs push out to come man mark you, and if they don't man mark you, then the false nine has a lot of space to work. So I just think a false nine for Insigne would be great. Maybe Chiesa on the left, and then on the right put Berardi. I think it would be it would be such a good lineup to have, man. I would love to see that, but honestly, it's probably not going to happen. So between Immobile and Belotti, everyone knows my answer, Belotti. I think Belotti does so much for a team, even when he's not scoring. He runs back, he defends, he presses when we don't have the ball. He's always in the right spot, and he's actually a very underrated playmaker. I think he had 7 assists in the Serie A this season, which is not bad at all for someone who's considered a poacher or someone who just sits in the box. So I'll like Belotti, but obviously it's going to be Immobile. I think Mancini is decided already. So, Dan, who are you feeling for striker?
Yeah, I think because that's the problem with Italy too. Even since you could even argue we haven't had a real striker since maybe that Balotelli. And even if you go back to tournaments we had success in the 2006 World Cup, which is the most recent tournament that we actually won a trophy in. Italy's, even the strikers we had on paper were incredible, but even at that tournament they didn't produce. But they got the job done. They played well, they linked up, but they didn't score. For me, I think Immobile will start. Just the way he's been playing as of late, he's been playing a lot better. I'll give him that. Especially the way he's been linking up with the likes of Chiesa, Berardi, Bernardeschi, whoever would play on the right, and Insigne as well, and the midfield as well. He's been playing a lot better. He's scored I believe he's scored in the last few matches he's played in. So right there, he's got some form heading into this tournament. If he could continue it, it would be great. If he can't, then maybe I can see even Belotti drawing in on the next day against Wales, the next match. Or Switzerland, I think it's our second match, I believe. And I think Immobile will start the tournament, but if he can continue it, we all know. But I would go with Immobile on Friday and just see what he does there, and then you decide for the next match.
Yeah, that's fair show. Richa, what are you feeling here?
Yeah, I think we've had a good amount of time to plan for these scenarios here. I like your idea, and so with the false nine, I think that would be the best case scenario.
Huge fan of that too, and that's why I feel like Raspadori was called up, because he can play that false nine and he can tend to draw in defenders and spread out the pitch, and that's why I think he was called up to Mancini's squad. Go ahead, Fincher.
Yeah, but I think between Immobile and Belotti, I think if Mancini had a brain and he was watching the games, he would see Belotti does more than what Immobile can offer. If Immobile could score and he's on his game, then he's the better striker in my opinion. But that's a big if that we're asking, and the Azzurri fans have been waiting and waiting for that big if to happen, and just hasn't been happening. So I feel like we can't go into, this is the time of the Euros, I don't care if it's group stage or not. This is a stage we cannot go into where we're still experimenting. Mancini has to know how the team plays with Belotti, and it's just not how the individual is, it's how the team plays with that person there. And it seems when Immobile is there, it's kind of like Ronaldo at Juve. We kind of just force the ball to him every single chance and hope he puts the ball in the net. Whereas Belotti kind of like, okay, I'm going to pass to Belotti, but I'm going to expect the ball back in 3 seconds, and then I'm going to give the ball back to him like right after. And I just feel like the team, there's more of fluidity between the team when Belotti plays, so I would like Belotti to play, but like Enzo said, Mancini's hard-headed, Immobile is the bigger name than Belotti, so I think he'll start.
Yeah, I think, we got that one down there. And obviously there's a lot of speculation, we're all going to have a different opinion. There's so many things that can happen in the Euros with the lineup, and it's going to change constantly. I don't think, even though it's not a good thing, I think that it will change a lot, the lineup going into these games. I think probably the biggest change will be if we have 6 points going into the last game, we'll probably have like a pretty new lineup for already secured first place, you know. And it'll be a good chance for guys like Locatelli. But yeah, first 2 games, I really hope we don't change it too much, because it's never a good thing to have, because even though you practice with these guys, if you're going to battle essentially and war with different guys every time, it's different when you're practicing, when you're in the game. Try and keep the same guys together and see where that goes. But yeah, this campaign, there's a lot of speculation on what someone would deem a success at the end of this campaign, the Euros, and when it's all said and done. Obviously, you want to win it. That's your ultimate goal. But sometimes the reality situation is you can't always win. So, a question for you guys. What would you deem a successful campaign? For me personally, my goal in the back of my head is semifinals. Obviously, you want to win the whole thing, like I said. But I don't know why, but something in my heart of hearts, I just believe I see this Euro as a warm-up to the World Cup that's coming up very soon. I think that World Cup, we will be just out of this world. Zaniolo will be back with a season and a half under his belt. Then we're going to have Chiesa more experienced, Barella more experienced, Bastoni more experienced. I can go on forever. All these guys just more experienced going into the World Cup. I think that World Cup, we're going to see a very scary Italy side. Obviously we can still win the Euros and we have a good team, but I just do this. I see the World Cup so differently now because Zaniolo, maybe I'm being biased, but I think he's a complete game changer when you add him to a team. And Chiesa having more experience, like I said, Bastoni, all these guys, Barella. I think we're going to be a very scary side in the World Cup. So if we don't win this one, I'm not going to be completely down, but I would like to see this group of players go far. I'd like the semis, quarters. I wouldn't be too sad, but I'd really like to see us in the semis at least. So, Dan, how about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think for me, I think anything above round of 16, I think that's a success because we're in a transition stage where we went from not qualifying for a World Cup to make it to the semis, make it to the quarters, make it even to the finals of the Euro. So I think from quarterfinals to finals is something I'll be happy with. Obviously, I'm going to be disappointed if Italy don't win the tournament. Like, I'll be sad that we didn't. But I think it'll be, like, if you, over time, I think it'll be a success because as a transition stage, I think if we get eliminated in the round of 16, that's, for me, would be a failure. Just because of just the way, unless we play, like, the way brackets work, I'm not too sure. I think we'll be playing the runner-up of Group C, I believe. So, which could be Ukraine. So I feel like that matchup could be favorable for us. So maybe the quarterfinals. I would be happy with quarterfinals if we lose in the quarterfinals, but we play with our hearts out. We play hard, and it's just unlucky at the end. So I feel like quarterfinals is something like somewhere I'll settle, like for Italy. Obviously, I want Italy to win the tournament. And I believe with the team we have a good shot to win this tournament. I feel like we're the dark horses of the tournament, and we're a team that no one can take us lightly. So for me, quarterfinals is where I'll be happy with this Azzurri side if we even get eliminated there. But anything above that, then I'll be doing cartwheels in Toronto.
So for Chet, how are you feeling for this upcoming Euro? I think you're going to say we should win it, but let's see.
It's obviously nice to win it. That's my expectation. My expectation is for the boys to win it with some things here. Like Danny said, it's based off a bracket. So if we have a favorable bracket and we go in the quarterfinals or the semifinals, I'd be disappointed. But the only two teams I'll still be like pissed off about, but I'll be understanding of is Belgium and France. If we lose to any other team, Germany maybe, but like we've seen in the past when we had Eder and Pele playing that we almost beat Germany. We went toe to toe with them. So I mean, Belgium and France, if we lose to them, I'll be sad. If we face them in the round of 16, wherever we face them in the tournament, I'll be sad.
Most likely be like later on, like say around quarters to semifinals.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed, but I'll be understanding. Every other team in the tournament, Portugal, England, Germany, that we lose to, I don't care what round it is, I'll be pissed off. So those are my standards. There's only two teams maybe you can put Germany in there. Two to three teams that are understandable if we lost. They've been in the same group for some time now. They have more experience than Italy. But other than those 2-3 teams, I don't expect to lose to any other teams.
Well, yeah, but she has some high expectations, and fair enough because we were on a big winning streak, but unbeaten winning streak as well. I think we have 20 clean sheets in 27 games or something like that.
What happens when the king plays?
So
I think we haven't conceded a goal. I believe we were discussing this on the Calcio, guys. The last 8 games, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. I saw that.
Yeah, last 8 games we haven't conceded a goal, and the last goal we did concede was in a Nations League game against Netherlands. So, and then that was like in like October or something, like October. So, Italy are in good form heading into the tournament. So that unbeaten streak is heading into the tournament. So hopefully they
I
can
just hope,
continue it and improve on it.
you know what? I gotta go back to the first topic for a minute. I completely forgot about this. I think Donnarumma might have the most pressure in the team, especially with the fans there.
No, I disagree.
I think if the Milan fans pull what they did in the World Cup, then there's gonna be
Maybe
some
in the
issues with him.
Euros.
Well, with the money.
Yeah, those the under 21 Euros when they threw the fake dollar bills out.
Yeah, I think if they do that, then it might be a little. He might have some pressure, but
I don't think
no,
as
I don't
much
think so now.
now.
He'll go to PSG.
Yeah, PSG. That's why I'm hoping they don't do anything. But
I can't see that happening again. I think if you went to Juve, you'd probably see that, but going to PSG, I don't think anyone really cares anymore now. It's not going to a rival, leaving the league completely. So, yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna really hate on Donnarumma anymore. Really, obviously, I still don't respect how he left Milan just for that much money. I don't want to get into the whole Donnarumma thing again. We covered that, but yeah, I don't know. He's definitely gonna have pressure on him as he gets older. I still think it's too soon to put a big amount of weight on his shoulders, but I think definitely in a couple of years we're gonna be looking to him in that Buffon role when he's in his prime.
Even thinking outside the box, I just want to go back to this one sec. Mancini, he's got pressure on him too. Especially from the Azzurri fans, which I like Mancini. I'm a believer in him. I really like him as a coach, and I really respect what he's done for the Azzurri. He's took them back to the form where I'm used to seeing them playing well, winning matches. So he's got pressure on him too because this is his first tournament, the Azzurri's first tournament since 2016, and now we're in a phase where yes, we're transitioning into the team we want to become, but this is a good stepping stone for us. And if we can take advantage of this tournament and cause noise, make noise in this tournament, and cause problems for other sides, then you gotta be scared of Italy for the next years to come. So I believe Mancini, he's got a lot of pressure on him to set these guys up and to what's the word I'm looking for? Get the team going, get the team rolling, and bring home a Euro Cup for us if the team can really perform like they can.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely potential for a special Euro we may see, and hopefully we do. Now, quickly, starting lineups. I think everyone in the world has a different opinion. Sorry about that, but Danny, starting lineup. How are you feeling? Who are we gonna put in?
So
formation, everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with the 4-3-3. I believe Italy has adapted to that, and it's been our formation for the last. However, I'm pretty sure 27 games. It's been our formation. So in goal, we're gonna go with Donnarumma. Left back. As much as I love Emerson, I think you start Spinazzola that game on Friday. Then this is where it gets interesting. For me, I would go with Chiellini and Bastoni, or we all know the status of Chiellini, I go Bonucci, Bastoni. And right back, as much as I love Di Lorenzo, I just see Florenzi starting. Even though I want Di Lorenzo to start, I see Florenzi starting. Midfield, depending on the availability of Verratti, I'll have Verratti, Jorginho, and Barella. But Verratti can't play. I wouldn't be surprised if Jorginho moves into that position and Locatelli plays. And up top, I have Insigne, Immobile, and Chiesa.
Yeah, that's a solid lineup there. For myself, this is my preferred starting lineup, so it's not who I think will play, it's who I want to play. Donnarumma, by the way, it's a 4-3-3. Donnarumma, Spinazzola, Bastoni, Chiellini, Di Lorenzo, Jorginho, Verratti, Barella, Chiesa, Insigne in the false nine, and Berardi. I don't think that will happen at all, but hopefully something similar to this. Obviously, Insigne false nine will happen, but I think probably Immobile will probably be in there. Florenzi over Di Lorenzo, and then Bonucci over Bastoni will probably happen. But other than that, probably the same starting lineup I just said now. And hopefully Italy can bring it home on Friday, do well, and win the first game. But for Chet, let's hear your starting lineup.
I just need to make sure you guys are okay. You guys have a healthy Chiellini and a healthy Bonucci, and both of you said Bonucci on the bench. A little strange.
Yeah, of course. Where else would we put him?
But my starting lineup would be Donnarumma and net. I would put Spinazzola and Florenzi, and then Chiellini and Bonucci. The chemistry those two have together, you can't beat it, and it's gonna be a big part of winning the Euros for us. I think in the midfield, a little unorthodox midfield for me. I have Pellegrini, Jorginho, and Barella, and then up top I have Chiesa, Belotti, and Insigne.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that midfield is something we might see later down the road in the tournament if our midfield fails to create more. I think Pellegrini will probably have to be slotted in.
Yeah, I think he's on paper. Him and you could even argue now with the call up of Pessina. Those two are, you could say, they're probably our most creative midfield. Like when it comes
definitely.
to attacking wise.
Yeah, I think maybe if they don't start, I think eventually in the game we'll have to bring them on because the midfield right now doesn't have too much creativity in it. But yeah, I think down the line that'll happen. And I know before we always end off, Richellis has a message. So for Chet, what is it today?
It's a little sad message today. Just found out that Juventus legend, Italy legend, Gianluca Vialli is battling with cancer. Wish him the best of luck. And hopefully he beats cancer and survives. Yeah,
definitely. We're gonna keep him in our thoughts and prayers, and hopefully he can beat it. We know he can. We saw him on the pitch how strong he is, so we know he's capable of beating anything. So wish him and his family nothing but the best. But when it comes to this podcast, I think we're at the end here, at the tail end. We're really excited for Euros. We're gonna get a lot of content for you guys. We'll be going to the streets of Toronto and recording a lot of footage for you guys. And
if you guys are in the area, we'll be going to Market Lane. Make sure.
If they win, don't get.
But listen, we're not Barcelona fans. We only go to the streets of Market Lane when Italy win. A tie or loss, we don't go. We don't celebrate.
Well, hopefully we win, and we'll get some footage for you guys. It'll be fun. We're looking forward to the Euros. It's always a great moment where all Serie A fans all come together and support the same team, if you're Italian, of course. And it's a nice, it's a breath of fresh air, to be honest. Instead of arguing, we're all on the same side for once, so.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
With us, knowing our friend group,
there'll
be some arguing,
definitely. So. Definitely the starting lineup, maybe Insigne, some shots at him will be thrown during the game, who knows.
And then you get kicked out.
Yeah. So, we're looking forward to it. We'll be back next week to cover everything that happened in the Euros. And thanks for listening. Check out our social media at Calcio, everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next week. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, guys.